Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another farmhouse, rustic, pottery barn inspired do-it-yourself home decor. So I did some pretty good damage at Goodwill today. It's gonna be weird at first, but it's gonna make sense, I promise. So first I picked up these containers, and I know it's like a really weird mix match. All of these cost $1 to $5. The most expensive one was this one, and this one was $5. Like, that's crazy cheap. Then I picked up these books, and these were going for 3 books for $5, I believe. Obviously, this is a great deal for anyone that's looking to read books. They had an endless amount, literally like 3 aisles of different books for so cheap. If you take a closer look at them, they kind of have a similar color scheme going on. I did that on purpose. So I literally went for the intention of getting books as decor. Obviously, if they're interesting to me, I'm going to read them, but I love books, especially older vintage looking books, as decor. So the color scheme was very neutral, which I really liked. So I went through the shelves of books looking for similar schemes. The first book I found was actually this one, which is perfect for what I'm going for. So I was basing them all off these like earth tones. So I first went through looking for colors that caught my eye that were similar. Then of course I read the title and whatever the book was about. So I wanted to make sure it was obviously appropriate and nothing weird or something like that. I also was trying to go for books that were definitely aged, like they were very worn, with like these thicker pages, just like worn down pretty much all over. Then back to the containers. So these two out of the bunch, I personally think they're great by themselves. This is great for a small space to put flowers in, so a little vase. Then this guy is galvanized. Definitely like that farmhouse theme. Again, this will be perfect to use as a vase. Honestly, these are kind of dirty though. I've got to wash them all out, but it was a bargain. So I don't mind washing them out or removing stickers, etc. Oh my God, I love those books. I love the colors of them. So I really like them obviously stood up as normal like that, or turn on their sides stacked, but I also really like them turned around where you just see the pages like this. I don't know why, I just think it's like really simple way to decorate your house. Anyone else think that? That you get that like subtle color, it's not distracting, especially if it has like very bold words or pictures or anything. But it just fills up a bookshelf or a coffee table, and to me it looks really nice. If it is a hardcover book like this one here, you can also take the little sleeve off to get rid of like whatever it has on the outside. And you can see what's on the inside, which it's typically a lot more simple and, I mean, depending on the theme or whatever you're going for, more vintage looking, understated, etc. So you can get different looks out of them. Same thing, just the color on the front if you prefer. So yeah, just like a really super easy, affordable way to decorate or fill space. So yeah, with the rest of the containers that I picked up, like this crazy looking one, I'm going to paint these white. It's going to look so much better and so much more expensive. This will be perfect in the kitchen as decoration, but when it's cleaned out, obviously it can be used for whatever. A cookie jar or something. I liked the size and shape of this as a very big style vase. I think it would be really nice on like a dining room table or a kitchen counter. And then same thing with this taller, skinnier one. I did kind of like the cream off-white color that it is, but I just feel like to match everything, it's gonna need to be white. So got a variety of different shapes and sizes, and I'm really excited to give them a makeover. So here's how I'm going to give my thrift store finds a makeover and how to fake ironstone. So to fit my budget, and I mean like $3 per item, while fitting the style that I prefer, I'm going to paint these with my white gloss spray paint. You're going to want to spray paint these in 3 very light coats to prevent any dripping or splotchiness. Once they're dry, you really can't even tell you painted them. It's a great way to add different flower arrangements or greenery throughout the house without taking away from the arrangement. They're beautiful in a china cabinet. Here are a few examples and inspirational pictures for you guys to give you a better idea of how to put these together in your own home. Here's another example of storage, decor, and organization that you can also recreate using different containers. So this is actually an old candle that I used up, but instead of throwing it out, you can simply place it in boiling water to remove the excess wax and label to clean it out, giving you a clean, empty jar. Then you can either use this by itself as a clear glass jar, or you can add a doorknob on the top like I did here using a hot glue gun to make it a little bit extra. There's tons of styles and shapes that you can choose from. Another similar idea is picking up a glass jar from the dollar store like this one and following the same lid ideas to create different shapes. If you want to create different levels, you can also place a tea light on the bottom to raise up the jar a little bit more. I personally use these jars in my bathrooms, so here's a few examples of different ideas that you could use to store in your glass containers. Next, I'm going to show you how to recreate a very affordable faux flower arrangement that looks totally real. This is super easy to do and change out throughout the year without worrying about the upkeep. So using the containers that I picked up from the thrift store, I'm going to use those as my vases. First, you're going to need your flowers. So I picked up all of these from Michael's. I typically buy my flowers from Michael's or the dollar store, depending on the type of flower I'm looking for. Some of them obviously look more real than others. So these I thought looked really realistic, actually. This rose is like one of my favorite ones because of how real they look, and the texture of them is like super soft and velvety, like a real flower petal. Faux Real is the brand of this specific flower. And then the other ones are Floral Essentials from Ashland. But I picked up some roses, some Magnolia. I don't actually know what this is, but they're like little mini rosebuds, I guess. You will also need to cut or bend the stem to fit the container because obviously this one's way too tall. I'm a big fan of floral arrangements. I think they make great centerpieces. They really brighten up any room and give more of a homey feel. I also find that they're very feminine, so it gives a nice, elegant, classy touch. Again, all the products are always listed in the description box, so if you guys want to shop anything specific, be sure to check that out, as well as discount codes. This current one is one that was inspired by a sign that I saw at Kirkland's, and they were charging $50 for something that I honestly thought was super easy to make myself. So, challenge accepted. First, you're going to need your wooden letters. There's tons of different sizes, colors, etc. I picked these up. I liked the shape and style of them, but I didn't like the color. I wanted them to be that distressed white, so I'm simply going to paint them. So using a mixture of 3 different paints, I'm first going to use the Simply White chalk paint as my base and place this all over the letters, top and sides. Then over top, I'm going to apply Martha Stewart Crackle Effect. This is a really cool effect to give a weathered texture look to your paint. Over top of that, you're going to apply your next layer. This is porcelain chalk paint. This is more of an off-white cream color. So this will help give the added dimension and texture while the crackle paint dries. I ended up doing this twice, so repeating the same steps 2 times to give a really distressed, peeled, cracked look, making the letters look very weathered. It's up to you, however you choose to paint them or change them. This is a boxwood arrangement or stem, but I ripped off the leaves or branches, little pieces, and created the circle for the O. You could of course use other flowers or plants to do this, but I'm basing this off of the original sign that I had seen. Once your letters are dry, you can glue them onto your wooden board. The wooden board is easy to make or buy depending on your preference. So check out the description box for all the materials if you want to shop any of them. So I'm going to take those leaves again and glue them on, layering them to create the O. Then you can let this set and dry and you're done. You can of course change this however you want. The Kirkland's example had a bit more of an industrial look to it by adding the metal on the sides. That's also a super easy, quick add-on. Some of these pieces I had already owned, such as the paint. Everything else I purchased, so this cost me a total of $15. It's really easy to make and extremely affordable, especially if you already own some of the items or if you use coupons. These are great to make for yourself, but also as gifts. So that is everything for today's do-it-yourself farmhouse rustic inspired home decor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to make sure that you are still subscribed to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.